This one went through clean. It nicked the fat. It's this one that worries me. It's a rifle shot. It broke the bone. I don't know if I can stop the bleeding.
Well, I am Grant from Screen Rant. Heather, it is great to get to see you again and talk for Place of Bones. It really is quite the refreshing take on the Western genre in that it's very feminist driven. And I'd love to hear, what about the project really sparked your interest to be a part of it?
Well, it's great to see you again, too. Thanks for talking to me about this. I mean, I love the script, and I do like that it's a female story, and we had a female director, Audrey Cummings, and just that the female characters are really complicated and interesting, and we see the movie from their perspective, which I think is really rare in the Western genre.
I couldn't agree more. And between this and The Dead Don't Die, I'm glad that, or The Dead Don't Hurt, I'm glad that they're finally getting their time to shine. The females are finally getting their time to shine in this genre. And so I believe, if I read correctly, this was filmed in Los Angeles, but yet it feels so very much true to the old Westerns of filming out in the desert in the middle of nowhere. Can you talk to me about shooting on location for this one?
Yeah, well, we were out in the middle of nowhere. I actually did stay out there. It was kind of a little bit by Magic Mountain, but we were on this ranch, and honestly, we were freezing our butts off, and it was really uncomfortable, but it does make you feel what it would have been like to live during those times when you don't have heat and you don't have water, and you're just really trying to survive.
Now, one thing I love about your character in particular is that so much of your backstory is kept hidden. I mean, aside from the husband dying, and there are mentions of a father figure, but nothing really explicitly told. How much did you work out with Ashley and with the writer to really figure out who this character was, prior to shooting as well as during shooting?
Well, I have this great acting coach. I want to give her a shout out. Her name is Warner Lachlan, and we together come up with all my memories from my backstory. I make up these really vivid memories of what happened. I had this abusive father in my backstory, and just falling in love with my husband and him dying, and just my daughter growing up. So I come up with like a complete story that just kind of makes me who I am, which is it's been really fun and creative.
It certainly sounds that way, and I'm glad that you two found that backstory for her, because it really made their performance all the richer. And speaking of your daughter, I'd love to hear about you working with her and building that rapport with her, because there really does feel like that teenage angst grind between the two of you, but also that love and care between the two.
Yeah, I mean, she is a great character because in some ways, she's just really frustrated by me, but in other ways, we really love each other, and it's fun. She's new, she's young, she hasn't worked on that many things, so she's just so excited. It reminds me of myself when I first started, and you're just so happy to be working on a movie, and just how much you love acting, and just it reminds you of that pure just joy of just, oh, this is so exciting to be in a movie.
So was there anything, one little bit of wisdom you maybe imparted on her that you hope she'll carry with her into future projects?
I mean, I hope I just was a supportive, loving, good, presence for her to just do her best work. Because, the story is really about our love for each other and my desire to protect her. And I think, in watching the movie last night and watching her performance, kind of how we both, how I teach her to be this tough badass, so we both are kind of these tough badasses. We kind of have a lot of similarities.
Well, speaking of being tough badasses, as we see the movie goes on, it really starts to ramp up and you get to be part of some of the action. What is it like, because there's modern day action shooting, but then there's period era action shooting. And I'd love to hear what that's like in comparison to maybe more modern day sequences.
Well, we had a great director of photography, this guy, Andre Sakula, who shot Pulp Fiction. So he made really cool shots, in that Western where it's like you against somebody else. And I mean, it's fun running around and shooting guns and falling over. And I love it. I actually haven't really gotten to do that much action in my career, and I would love to do more. And in fact, I just got a new job where I have a bunch of fight scenes. So I'm excited about it.
I'm excited to hear more about that, because I'd love to see what you do in a proper action genre movie. So that's exciting.
Like a horror, thriller action comedy. It's called They Will Kill You, and I get to fight with Zazie Beetz. We have some pretty cool fight scenes.
Yes, I did just read about that. Now that you reminded me of that, that's awesome. I can't wait to see what comes from that. I see I'm almost out of time, so before I let you go, I'm also a huge Twin Peaks fan. And in the years since, I'm still wanting a proper answer for Annie on screen. And I know Mark Frost has come out with a book sort of giving an answer, but I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on what happened to Annie and what your thoughts on maybe coming back if they found a way to bring you back.
Well, it's so cool. People love that show so much. And I'm also a big fan. Now, I wish that my character was still alive and that I wish I could be in more of the Twin Peaks things. I mean, I think it was questioning, did she die? But I would love to come back to life and be in more Twin Peaks stuff.
I hope they find a way.
Yeah, I want to hear about the book. I actually never read that. Like, what does he say?
My memory escapes me, but I believe he does say that she is just lost in the lodge and is dead. And I'm like, no, I want Annie
I
back.
want to be brought back to life. Let's put it out there.
Well, we're putting it out in the airwaves now, so
That'd be
hopefully
great.
that him and David find a way. But in the meantime, I look forward to getting the word out about Place of Bones, Heather.
Thank you
It's
so
a really
much.
good movie. So
It's
thank
great
you.
to talk to you, Grant. Thank you.
Absolutely. Hope to see you again soon.
Okay, great.
There's a man in the house. There's money involved. And you know what that means. People will be looking for him.